After Jesus was sentenced to crucifixion, the Pilate sends Jesus away with the soldiers, and they flog him, and they beat him. And they use a whip called the cat of nine tails. It had 9 lashes with bone and metal and stone entwined with the leather straps. And they would lay it out across the back of the one being flogged, and allow it to draw tight, and they would pull. And it would rip skin and muscle, and it would just tear up the prisoner. They mocked Jesus. They found some thorns, and they twisted it together into a crown, and they forced it upon his head, breaking the skin and causing blood to flow into his eyes and down his face. They put a robe around him and gave him a staff, and they began to mock him. "Oh, hail King! Oh, hail King!" And then they pulled the robe off, and they mocked him, and they spit on him, and they punched him. And then they forced him to carry his own cross. The prisoner would carry his crossbeam. It would weigh about 75 pounds, and Jesus has been beaten, and he's gone without sleep, and has very little energy, but he's forced to carry his cross. He gets it some of the way there, and they force a gentleman, Simon from Cyrene, to carry it the rest of the way. They get Jesus to Calvary, to Golgotha, the place of the skull, and they laid him out upon the crossbeam. They drove nails into his wrists, into his feet, and they raised the cross up. And in this process, Jesus begins to call out. The first thing Jesus says from the cross, he says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Even in this moment of crucifixion, this moment of punishment, this moment of execution, his thoughts are on others. He says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing." The soldiers choose to divide his clothing up. They begin to gamble for it. They cast lots for it. And as they do so, they're fulfilling prophecy, whether they know it or not, that his belongings will be divided amongst those. The passers-by, they also begin to mock and call out to him. Well, they're there. He's crucified with 2 others, one on his left and one on his right. And as they're there, the one says, "Hey, well, save yourself and us." And the one on the other side, is like, "But we're being punished for our own crimes. But this man, he's done nothing wrong. He's done nothing deserving death." And Jesus looks at the second criminal, second man he's being crucified with, and he says, "Today, you will be with me in paradise." As he's being crucified there are some who have gathered around. Many who are passers-by mocking, but there are some who love him. And there at the foot of the cross is his mother Mary, along with his disciple John. And Jesus, being the oldest son, it had been his job to take care of his mother into her old age. And he knows that his time is short, and so he passes on the care of his mother to John. He says, "Mother, this is your son. Son, this is your mother." All this happened before noon. And as noon begins to draw close, darkness falls over the land, and Jesus calls out in a loud voice, my God, why have you forsaken me?" A quote from the 22nd Psalm. As Jesus calls out, the land goes dark. And we're reminded that we are forgiven because he was forsaken. We are, our forgiveness, our victory is won because he faced death and defeat. He lost his life so that we might gain his.